So the fundamental counting principle gives us the number of combinations for certain things, variations. It's just giving us a number of something. So the fundamental counting principle says if there are A ways for one activity to occur and B ways for a second activity to occur, then all we do is say, okay, the number of ways for the first activity times the number of ways for the second activity gives us this said total of ways for both to occur. So normally, sometimes there's more than two things going on, but really that's all there is to it. So for one, it says radio station call letters consist of 4 letters beginning with either a K or a W. So call letters are like, now I'm a country person, but like 1077 WGTY or 1047 WAYZ, I think it is. So those letters are what they're referring to there, the call letters. So how many different radio stations could they make, or could there be possible if the letters can be repeated? So we've got 4 letters, and we know that the first letter has to be a K or a W. So 4 letters, and the first one is a K or W. So if that first number is a K or a W, then we only have 2 options to choose for. This spot is a K or a W. 2 ways, 2 items for that first spot. Times, okay, well, if we can repeat, then we can choose any other letters from the alphabet for all 3 remaining letters here. So 26 letters in the alphabet, that's how many we have to choose from. So we just multiply them all together. 2 times 26 times 26 times 26 gives us 35,152 possible ways to create a radio station with 4 call letters if the first one is a K or a W. So then it says, okay, well, how many would be possible if they cannot be repeated? So that's the difference between these two. So we're still using 4 letters, and the first one is still a K or a W, but now for this second letter in this second spot, we can't repeat something we already used. So say we did use a K in this first spot, now there's no longer 26 letters to choose from for this second spot, there's only 25. And then if we've just used the second letter, there's 24, and then 23, because we can't use the same letter twice for option B. So again, just multiply them all together. 2 times 25 times 24 times 23. Get 27,600 possible ways. So then it says, okay, well, determine then how many different computer passwords are possible if your password has to have 4 digits and 2 letters. So we're going to have 4 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 letters. Okay, so 0 through 9 gives us 10 choices for the digits. I don't want you guys to think it's 9 because it's 1 through 9 and then 0. So it's really 10 options there. And then 26 letters in the alphabet. So if the digits and letters cannot be repeated for the first one, so the first 4 places are digits. So if they cannot be repeated, we'll have 10 numbers to choose from for the first spot, 9 for the second, 8 for the third, 7 for the fourth. So those are our digits that we're choosing. We're not literally choosing digits 10, 9, 8, and 7, but that's how many you have to choose from. And then the last one, the last 2 spots are our letters. So the first spot we'll have 26 to choose from. Say we picked an M. Then for the second spot, we would only have 25 to choose from. So these values are going to get pretty big if we're multiplying these all together. So 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 26 times 25 gives us how many possible passwords? 3,276,000 possible passwords. So B then says, okay, well, what if the letters can be repeated and the digits can be repeated? So same thing, we're going to have 4 digits and 2 letters, but if they can all be repeated, we can use the same one over and over again. So each time we pick a digit, we're going to have 10 options. And for the letters, both times, we're going to have all 26 options. So 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 26 times 26. And it gives us 6,760,000 possible passwords. So again, big numbers, but perfectly okay. Those are your correct answers there. So just be paying attention to the wording to see if it mentions anything about repeating or not repeating, and just kind of go from there and figure out what we need to be multiplying together. So for 4, it's talking about a restaurant that's being rented for a retirement party. And it says the owners offer an appetizer, entree, and dessert for a set price. So they give you the choices that the people attending the party can choose from. It says how many dinner options could you serve that night. So we're literally just multiplying the number of appetizers times the number of possibilities or options for entrees times the options for the desserts. So there are 3 appetizers, calamari, mushrooms, and salad. There are 2, 3, 4 entrees and 2 desserts. So 3 times 4 times 2, 24 dessert options. I always spell this wrong. I believe that's 1T. So that's it. Just multiply it together. Not dessert options. Dinner options. I just said dessert. 24 dinner options. With all the different combinations and choices possible there.